Checking in? For many families, yes. Not for the night or two, instead for the month or two or three. In other words, the hotel is their home. More and more like Jasmine Burse, who told Atlanta News First she and her 4 kids live motel to motel.
A room that has 1 bed, so I have to decide if my kids are going to sleep in the bed or if I'm going to sleep in the bed.
Choosing between the bed, the floor, or the streets in Blackland.
And now,
as a brown person, you just feel so invisible.
That's not fiction. Where we're from.
Brothers and sisters, I welcome you to this joyful day.
We celebrate freedom. Where we are.
Oh, get on the ground.
I know someone heard something.
And where we're going.
We the people means all the people.
The Black Information Network presents Blackland with your host, Vanessa Tyler.
The affordable living crisis in America is trapping more people than ever. Hotels and motels are where they lie their heads, but it could be where they make their money. So here's the twist. Ramel Lee of R.D. Lee Investments says the crisis could be an opportunity for those typically shut out of financial gain.
Ramel, welcome.
Good afternoon.
First, talk about what you anticipate ahead for us economically.
Economically, I see that there's going to be a lot of opportunity. As we've seen the last time this administration was in charge, there was a lot of deregulation. And so it's those type of opportunities that we should look into, of highly regulated environments that will probably accelerate at a very fast speed, growth-wise, over the next few years.
You specialize in hotel funds, specifically extended stay. Talk about that.
Well, we launched the RDL Hotel Fund 1 for the purposes of investing in limited service and extended stay hotels. The extended stay hotel space is a growing market, very underserved. It's the portion of the hotel market for people who need to stay in a temporary residence for longer than 5 days, not necessarily on vacation. Where we see a lot of growth potential in that space is that $7 billion worth of extended stay business went to regular hotels. That means if all the major brands built extended stay hotels at a rapid pace, they wouldn't be able to reach the demand in 10, 12 years. So we see a lot of upside and growth specifically in extended stay hotel space.
Let's talk a little bit about the haves and the have-nots. What is the deal with extended stay hotels? They have become like the living alternative for so many people, Black and white.
Yes. So as we know, there's a bit of an affordability crisis in the country, especially with renters. In New York, they recently passed a law where you can't charge a broker fee anymore for a rented apartment. But a lot of places coming up with first month, last month security, having great credit, all of the things that landlords are looking for to rent apartment has become very difficult for the average American. And many are opting to live in extended stay hotels. With the extended stay hotel, there's no credit check. There's no first month, last month security. You just have to have the ability to pay. And people are working. Wages are up across the country and people are working. However, they're not earning enough above the cost of living to save enough money to be able to rent their own apartment or home.
What Ramel Lee proposes is investing in these extended stay hotels, which will be more in demand than ever, and says the RDL Hotel Fund will be an opportunity for the non-accredited investor. In other words, those without the large assets typically required.
The difference between accredited and non-accredited investors. And up until 2012 and not enacted until 2016, you could not invest in these alternative assets unless you were an accredited investor. So the adage, it takes money to make money, was actually codified in our laws, that you had to have money to even have the opportunity to make money. Then the SEC created an exemption called Regulation CF standing for crowdfunding, that allowed for non-accredited investors the opportunity to invest in alternative assets. So that it's been highly regulated because there is a concern with non-accredited investors not being savvy investors, which I think is just not a true fact. They can be savvy investors, just haven't had the opportunity to make enough income to become an accredited investor. So we purposefully set out to use Regulation CF to give non-accredited investors an opportunity to invest in something that has the growth potential of hotels. So the actual fund, as part of some of the compliance, has to be hosted on a FINRA-approved crowdfunding platform. The platform that's hosting our fund is Vester, Vesterr. It's a Black-owned crowdfunding platform. I believe the only Black-owned crowdfunding platform at this time, dedicated to commercial real estate. And so you would go onto that website, find RDL Hotel Fund 1, and you have the opportunity to review our pitch, hear our pitch webinar, and if you're interested, you can invest right through the platform.
Ramel Lee of RD Lee Investment says since the election for most was about the economy, this is a way for the small investor to get skin in the game, while at the same time making sure there are extended stay properties people can turn to during this housing crisis.
It was extremely important to us to give our people an opportunity to invest in these alternative assets as a way to close the wealth gap that we see.
This is a tale of two worlds, and while this may be a way to make money, there are others just trying to make it day by day. YouTube video creator Big Super documents America's homeless, people like Kyla, her husband, and their 3 small children. He found them in what was supposed to be a cheap motel in Arizona. For them, the $250 a week to live there turned out not to be so cheap and, frankly, barely livable.
And the only way we stay here is we had a reservation, and we showed up here, what is it, like 10 that day, and they said, oh, we'll have a room ready at 4. So the kids and we were waiting out in the heat. We're not used to this Arizona heat.
But it beats the streets and all they could afford.
We were paying $1,400 for a tiny 1-bedroom that was probably about the size of this.
$1,400? But now you're paying $700 a week.
I know.
That's $2,800.
Yeah,
I'm currently looking for work so we can get out of this predicament.
Before we go, Jasmine, who you met at the top, single mother living with her 4 children in a motel, did get a place through Frontline, a program in Atlanta specifically helping those living in motels, so she can ditch the hot plate and crock pot. They have a kitchen now. Their home is stable, not one charged by the night.
So this is the children's room.
Kids have a room and their own beds. Again, to find out more about the hotel investment opportunity, go to rdleecp.com. Of course, no investment is guaranteed. I'm Vanessa Tyler. Join me next time with stories about Black life in Blackland. A new episode of Blackland is available every week.